Well, good morning, my stroke survivor community. Hey, we also welcome TBI survivors, in case you didn't know. Sorry about the green screen flickering. I have no idea what's happening with it. I'll be working on it. But today, I want to encourage you. Today, I want to talk about a topic I think is kind of, I don't know, not really fully understood. And that is the topic neuroplasticity. So what I'll be doing today is showing you a video what neuroplasticity is and how I want to do a theme of this stuff. I feel like we've really covered the topic because I think the only silver bullet that we have as stroke survivors and TBI survivors is neuroplasticity. The more we understand it, the more we're able to use it, the more we're able to trigger it, the more we're able to rebuild our life as a stroke. So let's get into it. I'm really looking forward to it. And I want to encourage you, this is a fully interactive show. So if you leave me a comment in chat, I will pause every 5 minutes or so 10 minutes and highlight your comments. So please utilize the real-time comments. So let's get into it.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius Show, Survivor Experience. Now, here's your host, Aaron Avila.
So, good morning, everybody. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Aaron Avila. I am a 13-year post-brain aneurysm and stroke survivor, and also CEO and founder of Stroke TV Media, where it is our purpose to help you find life after stroke. See, I don't think necessarily the word recovery is accurate. If you go back to my YouTube channel, I just show on now, right? I don't think doctors, clinicians, or anybody should help stroke survivors, even TBI survivors, we recover. Because I really believe that we rebuild. And how we rebuild it, we use neuroplasticity. And what is neuroplasticity? Well, you came to the right show because I met these people a few days ago called the neuroplasticity brain center. But that's wrong. Yes, that is a rough word for me to say. But what's really cool, they not only provided me the video I'm going to share with you today, but I'm hoping next week we'll be able to get an actual neuroplasticity doctor on the show. So I want to encourage you to share this show with anybody you think will need to subscribe to Stroke TV Media YouTube channel and share this video. Like and share this video. So I want to start the video. So take a look at this. Here we go. What is neuroplasticity?
Neuroplasticity. You hear the term very often these days from smartphone apps, learning centers, rehabilitation centers, and even through athletic performance. But what does the term really mean? Well, let's keep things simple. If you break down the term neuro, means nervous system, which consists of the brain, spinal cord, and all the nerves that send and receive information to and from the brain. And plasticity, which comes from the Greek word plastos, meaning moldable. So together, neuroplasticity means a moldable brain. Originally introduced by an Italian psychiatrist by the name of Ernesto Lugaro in 1906, the term neuroplasticity was a way to describe how the brain can change throughout life to adapt, learn, and even recover from brain injury. But this wasn't the first time that the concept of neuroplasticity was described. You may be familiar with the famous experiment in 1904 conducted by a Russian psychologist, Ivan Pavlov. Professor Pavlov was able to essentially rewire the brains of his dogs to salivate at the ringing of a bell. He did this by repetitively ringing a bell every single time their food was presented to them. You probably have personal experience with neuroplasticity and don't even know it. As a matter of fact, every time we learn something new, we are harnessing the power of neuronal plasticity. You may remember when you were back in grade school, your teacher told you at the end of the week you're going to have a quiz on all 50 capitals of the United States. At the time, you probably could recall 2, maybe 3 of the capitals of the United States, but how are you going to learn all 50? The chances are you probably went home and sat down with your parents and created a deck of flashcards with the state on one side and the capital of the state on the opposite side. You probably looked at the state and then read the capital. You did this over and over and over again until you were able to call the capital as soon as you saw the name of the state. So what do you and Pavlov's dogs have in common? Each of you have both experienced the benefits of neuroplasticity. You are both exposed to a stimulus, accurately, with enough repetition and intensity to rewire brain function. So essentially, neuroplasticity can be considered as learning. And what's the expression? An old dog can always learn new tricks. Neuroplasticity takes place every single day of our life, regardless of our age or health. As long as you're alive, your brain will make new connections, and you can increase its performance and health. Neuroplasticity doesn't just apply to cognitive skills, it also applies to physical skills. Don't believe us? Do you remember the first time you tried to ride a bicycle? You may have attempted to ride a bike with training wheels, then once you had practiced enough, you may have removed the training wheels and then were able to ride the bike. The process of learning to ride a bike is a physical process, and just like learning information, it requires repetition and intensity. While you may have already been familiar with the applications of neuroplasticity, often people are not familiar with the new applications of neuroplasticity in healthcare. Plasticity Brain Centers is one of the leading providers of neurorehabilitation in the world, embracing a receptor-based model of neurological rehabilitation. By performing a comprehensive neurological assessment, they are able to identify either injured or simply inefficient networks in your brain. Then, by introducing specific sensory information with repetition and intensity over a 5-day program, they've been able to increase function, increase efficiency, and literally rewire the brains of children, seniors, people with neurological injuries, and even high-performance athletes. So if you want more information, give us a call at Plasticity Brain Centers and find out how we can unleash your brain's potential.
Coaches and consultants.
My guys, I'm working out it, working All right, so some key takeaways there, and please put your takeaways in the chat, and I'll bring them online. I want, before I pause, to give a shout out to all the people out there watching. Did you hear, which I think is really important, because I don't want this blood grain so bad. Did you hear no age, all ages, neuroplasticity occurs your entire life? So I really want to encourage you that if you think you're too old, or because you haven't moved a limb in 13 years, neuroplasticity does not apply to you. Well, I am here to tell you today it does. This is why we at Stroke TV, and I personally believe that you're not recovering, because you have to rebuild. You have to trigger neuroplasticity in your brain. It doesn't occur naturally or automatically. It's done by what? Repetitive, intense activity. So to trigger neuroplasticity, you must be repetitive and it must be intense. And as we go through this kind of thing that I'm doing on neuroplasticity, my goal is to help us as a community rebuild a life of stroke. We're not here we use the word recovery unless slip up, because I don't believe in recovery. I believe in neuroplasticity and I believe in building. So let's possibly give a shout out to a few of our people out there. With this is Sherry Patterson. She's in Niagara Falls. And I have a basic, you guys have to remember. So here's a shout out to Sherry Patterson, Niagara Falls. Thank you for being a Sherry. Remember, you have to authorize restream to use your face profile. Otherwise, it looks like this. It just says Facebook user. So I don't know who you are in the chat. So I don't know who typed in what's up. Here is Jamie from the United Kingdom. Jamie, thank you for being here. You're a good buddy. You're always here. He's here every show. Thank you for being here. This one, I think you may want to share with the people you know, the stroke survivors. Because neuroplasticity is a silver bullet to stroke survivors and even TBS survivors. Anybody. But we got a new person there. I want to give a special shout out to Kim. Kim, thank you very much for being out there. Please put in chat where you're from, Kim. Where are you watching the show from? I don't know. But Kim is out there watching us. Thank you for being here. She finds this platform very informative. Now, our goal is not to just give you fluff. My goal as CEO and the host of the show is to give you stuff that you can use. So as we go through neuroplasticity, I want you to really, really go over the video. I'll try to give you the tool to use, but the main thing is it's going to take intensity and repetition. And if you're like me, you want to know how long does it take? As long as it does. Everybody's brains is different. But the two components that will trigger neuroplasticity is repetitive, doing the same thing over and over again. Reaching for a cup over and over again. How many times? 100 times? I don't know. 500 times? Maybe 1,000 times? Whatever it takes. But neuroplasticity is a proven scientific fact for us stroke survivors. And it is our silver bullet, people. This is why I want to bring on the doctor. I'm going to bring a neuroplasticity expert on, hopefully next Wednesday, from the Plasticity Brain Center in Oklahoma or Florida. So, and I talked to Jackie yesterday in a meeting, and she's in Texas. I told her she said she's going to turn down to Dr. Frost so we can come understand neuroplasticity. So I believe, I didn't want you to get confused. I have not figured it all out by any means. I'm in a wheelchair, I'm half paralyzed. I mean, I've been on this for 13 years, but I do want to know more about neuroplasticity. So our shows on Sugar Gene's show, Survivor Experience, is real. I'm one of you. I am not talking at you. I'm talking with you. I don't want you to ever think. I want to encourage you. Please use the chat because that is part of what we do as a community. Okay, we got change the way you think, Sherry says. Well, that is neuroplasticity. Your ability to change the way you think is neuroplasticity. Is great. I got it up. Seems like a reason is how it connects this. I'm sorry if you haven't connected. So again, I don't know who this is. So put your name before your comments from on, because you didn't authorize Restream to use your Facebook profile. I don't know who this kept saying these things. I have no idea. There's my sister Jan Burl. Jan Burl, thank you for being on. That means a lot to me too. Really, there you are. Just talk about neuroplasticity. She is a stroke survivor who had aphasia. And you to overcome aphasia, neuroplasticity applies to all aspects of what we want to regain. So if you have aphasia, if you have dysarthria, if you have any side effect from your stroke at all. Neuroplasticity is your answer. It is your silver bullet. So what I plan on doing in this theme in this series is talk about it, not just talk about it, but I want you to understand. We need to understand what it is and how to use it. I mean, so many of us, like me, I have a mirror box. I think I used the mirror box 4 or 5 times. And because I wasn't seeing the results quickly out, I gave up on it. But then I realized now that it is repetition and intensity. So I want to do on therapy to regain the function, as long as it takes to trigger neuroplasticity. Remember, your brain is plastic, and that plasticity lasts your entire life. It doesn't go away. I had a doctor one time. I thought of being set up. I thought I was setting them up. Setting up because my wife was sitting right there. And I knew neuroplasticity never stopped. It always went on. If you're alive, you have a plastic brain. You have the ability to learn something new. So my wife has a hard time believing I'm going to walk again someday. And I knew that neuroplasticity is proven, um, scientifically proven effect of the attribute of the brain. So I asked her, I said, Doctor, will I ever walk again? Well, the unfortunate thing, he was the old school. Well, only after 12 months. You're about as good as you're going to get right now. Well, that totally is not what I wanted to hear. And he went against every word we just played. What you will hear the doctor tell us next Wednesday. Plasticity never stops. You have the ability to overcome every deficit you have, including aphasia, but the main is intensity and repetition. You can't do it now and then hope that something happens. Not going to be that way. That's one. I think Jan's screamed, but that's one heck word. That, to say the word of plasticity in my condition. Kim is now. I'm going to read this. Hold on. I'll just bring up screen. Kim, welcome from Pennsylvania. Here's a shout out to the great street of Pennsylvania. And apparently her husband had a stroke in February of 2022. Yeah, I hear you. And as you can see, he has none of the best experience with doctors. Kim, you are the voice. You are the only one that can advocate for him. I went through doctors. I just had to tell you a story about a doctor told me I'm never going to get better. I was supposed to die. Guess what? I'm not dead. I couldn't talk before. Guess what? I host 2 live shows a week. I'm just saying, do not let doctors who are not current tell you or your husband there is no hope. The old way of thinking was whatever you recovered the first 12 months after your stroke was the best you're going to get. Well, I'm here to tell you, Kim and other people, that's not true. That you will recover the rest, you will rebuild. There's that word recovery. Pardon me. I don't, Kim, just so you know, recovery, this is not automatic. Regaining functions that you lost during stroke on non-automatic. It's recovery is a word I believe shouldn't use in the clinical field. The real word is revealing your husband, Kim, and myself, and all the other stroke DBS survivors have to rebuild their life through what? Hard work and repetition is the only way. The problem is we are told we're going to recover. Not, that makes a lot of stroke survivors I know sitting on a couch. That's not, it's Melissa Troop. Look at this. We got Melissa Troop in the house. My dear sister, Melissa Troop. That's shout out to my dear sister. Thank you for being out there, Melissa. Kim, if you have not gone to Stroke TV Media and you look at it, go look it up. You'll find lots and lots of content that will help you. You as a caregiver and you as a your husband as a survivor. Something about more division competent building, just to know. And Melissa Troop, I'm gonna give you just a little sneak peek touch of what I'm about to say. Melissa Troop and me are building it's called um it's called we're not sure yet. Everything Stroke Coaching. We're building a team of stroke coaches that will run. We'll start with you as then we'll be in every hospital in the US someday. So there's everything stroke coaching. And it'll be a team of I'm going to start with 5 coaches that all have expertise in different areas. And Ken, you'll be great here. Well, a coach will be an expert in caregivers, how to navigate the medical system, how to navigate the disability system. So we're Melissa Group and I'm very excited about it. But let me see what else we got in here. My time, we don't give up. We die. I look at this. That's cute. That's a really cute comment. It's partly true. I mean, Italian language, pretty relentless personality, I would think. Yeah, it's really true. People do not let doctors deceive you. Don't believe in the word recovery. And it's not their fault. They've been trained to say the word recovery. It's not the same. It's not mathematics. It is rebuilding. Like Jan just said, I see the word repetition. Take a look at this. You see, I'm going to read this out. I'm going to try. Repetition. I've been exercising, Mom, every day for years. I still have full use of it yet. Notice the attitude, the mindset. I don't have full use of it yet. I'm not walking yet. I'm not using my left arm to fish yet. But I will keep going, keep trying, keep going. Little shifts, but it's still flexible. So when it starts to come back, it won't be a fight with the muscles. Jan, thank you for sharing that. 8 years, Jan, have been working on getting on to move. And even though it's not fully moving, she's not giving up. Mindset is I would say mindset is probably the cornerstone for anybody to rebuild their life at stroke. Because if you don't have the right mindset, I might tell you about diminish the mindset of a stroke survivor. I'm telling you, you're gonna recover. But then year after year after year goes by, you don't. but you really haven't made any effort to recover. Well, it's because you don't recover. You rebuild. You rebuild your life after stroke, like Jan Burroughs has said, doing the same thing over and over again and keep working on it again. I guarantee you, Jan Burroughs will move it right on. I guarantee she moves better now than she used to, for sure. I did a special, and I want to encourage you, go to Stroke TV Media on YouTube. Look forward to the playlist called Mindset. Because there's two things I think are the silver bullet to the stroke community. Two things. First and foremost, and the cornerstone of you and I as stroke survivors, mindset. We have to believe that we can do it. Your mindset must be one of hope, positivity, and love for yourself. And you must have the can-do attitude. You must have an I can do this attitude. And you will be able to do it. You're welcome, John. One day, have me if I can come visit you. Well, you can make me enough loaf of bread or something. Give me a pie. Jim Burtle is a baker. Guys, listen. I am living proof of neuroplasticity. I did work on my voice. There's something I could not stand. I went from owning my own business to one day I woke up in the hospital 2 months later, had paralyzed, unable to speak. I was mute. I was totally mute when I first had my stroke. I was what they call locked in. I could not communicate with my wife. I couldn't tell how much I love her. By the way, I'm gonna stop. I want to tell you, there's hope. Look at me now, 13 years later. But I want you to look at something here. First of all, I want you to scan that QR code. It'll launch our Stroke TV YouTube channel, Stroke TV Media YouTube channel. So please subscribe to that. I'll give you 1 second. So scan that QR code with your cell phone. It will launch our YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe. We need subscribers. Share the videos, like the videos. Lots of great content there. I really try hard to give good, tangible content that'll help you in your journey as a stroke survivor. And I want you to give a shout out to Kim. Our wives, my wife, our spouses, they go through hell dealing with us, but love us enough to stay there. So thank you for being there for your husband. I also wanted to share another thing with you. I want to invite you to come on my show, tell your story, encourage each other. Come tell your stroke survival story. Scan that with the QR code with cell phone. And book a meeting, a pre-show meeting, and we will talk. It's private, but come tell your story on the show. Put in chat if you would any skill or any deficit that you had. Oh, never mind. We're out of time. The show's over. I'm sorry, guys. I do have to do a show, and it's gone. It's pretty much gone. All right. We're done. I can't believe the time just flies. So I want to encourage you to be here next Wednesday. And again, I'll do something about neuroplasticity. I'm hoping that the Plasticity Brain Center will provide me a doctor to come on a show next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Church TV Media YouTube. If we get that, again, I'm going to hammer this because I really strongly believe this is a silver bullet. It's not the silver bullet, it's not a shot. The silver bullet is your brain's ability to heal itself and then to rewire itself. You can get better. All right, I'm going to go. I can't believe our time is up together. Love you guys. Love and you, Joy. Bye.